Hey! Welcome back to Dicing with Death. Yada yada yada. Yada yada yada. Usual spiel. Show your baguettes. So,
For the third time this campaign, I've reached 0 HP.
and for the third time, you've woken up not really sure how you've survived.
Alright, I sit up. Is the skeleton still standing there? Or has he crawled back into his
The
thing?
skeleton does not look like he has moved an inch.
Am I able to pray for a spell?
You may pray for a spell. You have no idea how long you've been here, but it's been a while.
I'll go ask for a Cure Light Wounds. Rolling
Your
my...
god does not grant you a Cure Light Wounds. You feel disappointment.
Which god? Is that a specific god? Or am I like praying to the god, to Martha or something like that? Do I have to pray for Martha for healing? Or can I get Cure Light Wounds
No,
from
you would get
Veracity?
cure light wounds from Veracity or Bal or Pal or any of them. And as you're doing, you're kind of like, blah, blah, blah. You just feel this surge of disappointment and failure coursing through you.
I walk up to the skeleton.
Okay?
And I smack the sword from its hand with my hammer.
It falls to the ground.
Say, Neal.
It goes down on one knee.
I line up my hammer with its head
Okay?
and play some skeleton t-ball.
You give it a nice swing, and the head goes flying, clattering into the side of the wall.
Does the skeleton
Skeleton
collapse?
tumbles to the ground, dead. Again. A moment passes, and the small wind starts to pick up. It's just a little bit of a draft, but it starts to pick up in the room, and the room grows a little bit colder. You step back, looking around, kind of, what the hell is this? And an apparition appears in front of you, standing in the center of the room, facing the pot. You're a little off to the side, so it's not looking directly at you.
Mm-hmm.
It appears there, and then it turns its head, and then looks directly at you, and says, "You have brought the curse of the family down upon you." And then the apparition starts to flicker a little
I
bit.
shout, am I not the victor?
The apparition flickers for a little bit, and starts to fade out, and it says, "The victor will be decided later," and disappears entirely.
All right. Grumbling, I place the bones of the skeleton back in his little cupboard.
Mm-hmm.
If they've probably fallen to pieces, right?
No, I mean they're still fairly
Section of
intact. The
its
head's
skin,
not.
so.
Yeah, the head's not intact. You can shove them back in there.
I place it. I spend a few minutes placing it back there with care and lay
Okay.
his sword across his chest.
Okay.
Offer up a quick prayer to Felimbra. And take my gold along with the other 50 or so
Okay.
in the pouch. Put the pot back where I found it.
Okay.
Go grumbling back to the surface.
Okay. As you walk out, you get to the T intersection, you take a right, and you see that there are sconces at the very end where the gate is open, except the gate is now closed, and they are burning bright. There, it is nighttime outside.
Mm-hmm.
And give me a nice fat perception check.
$23.
Okay. It looks like there's a new chain on the gate, perhaps.
Okay.
You also notice that the gate to the room with the skeleton was closed. It was not open when you
But
came.
there's no chain, right?
There was no chain, but the gate was closed when you are pretty sure you left it open.
Yeah. Is all of my other shit is on me, right?
All your
Like
other
none of
shit's on
the
you.
possessions are gone.
Yeah.
Okay. I will approach the gate cautiously, looking if there are any guards or anything.
You approach the gate. It seems pretty standard. The
Mm-hmm.
chain and lock are on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
The sconces are just on the inside. Like it looks like someone placed them there from the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Probably because if you'd placed them on the outside, it would interfere with traffic going up and down the staircase.
Okay. I will try and adjust the chain so that the lock is on the inside.
Okay. Yeah, you can get it there.
All right. I'm gonna look up and out the bars if I can.
You try and see as best you can, but it's a vertical wall above you, so you can only really look across.
I don't see anything on the stairs or anyone.
No, looking up and down the staircase is pretty empty.
I'll bash at the lock again,
All right, give me your open doors.
trying to clear. There we go, right on the money.
All right, you go, and the lock splinters. Actually, this time the chain breaks. Lock and chain fall to the ground.
I throw them both over the pit.
All right, they fall
Shut
into
the
the
gate
pit.
behind me.
Shut the gate
And
behind you. As you
I
start
walk-
walking up, a small crowd starts to appear at the top of the staircase, and they're all pointing and looking at you and whispering to one another.
I walk up to the. I scowl at them. It's night, isn't it?
It's nighttime. It is. As you start walking up, one man steps forward. He's holding a quarterstaff in his hands, and he's wearing robes. Doesn't look like he has any armor on. Kind of balding, with a holy symbol hanging down in front of him. A holy symbol of Aster, god of light and order.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "You foul beast! We do not tolerate the unliving in this world. Go back to the depths you came from."
The unliving. What do you think I am, priest? And I take a step towards him.
I think you are a foul creation of the most unholy forces on in the world.
Then turn me. That is within your power, is it not?
He growls and glares at you.
He doesn't go through the emotions of attempting to turn undead.
No, he does not.
What is the crowd doing?
They're pretty hushed and they're staring intently.
Are there any armed guards or soldiers within the crowd?
Not yet. I take it at this point you two are stopped and talking at each other and not approaching.
Yeah. My maul is on us, laying on my back.
Okay.
It's not there for the world at this point.
You were seen in the tomb with the undead, and you have emerged from your seemingly the seemingly end of your life back to the world of the living. Go back before I destroy you.
Fucker. 1 HP. If I'm truly what you say I am, do you really think it is wise to challenge me?
He slams his staff into the ground and starts doing what looks like the ritual for turning undead.
Okay.
Um,
I mean, the ritual to turn undead is more just like a speech at the undead.
is it just a speech?
As far as I can gather. I mean, it's pretty vague about what goes on, but it's like
Yeah.
a...
Go
The
back.
powers of Christ compels you.
All right. He holds up his holy symbol and, the power of Aster compels you. The power of Aster compels you. And he starts like sprinkling holy water towards you.
Do I feel any...
Yes, you feel the sudden and horrible urge to leave this man's sight. You grow entirely terrified of him.
Well, shit, I mean, am I really undead, Neal?
I didn't
Not
say
really
you're
what we
undead.
went-
I'm telling you, he's doing what looks like the power of Christ compels you,
Mhm.
and you're feeling mighty uncomfortable by this.
Am I forced to run? I mean, if I'm forced to make an action, let me know, or is
Yeah,
it
you have to flee. You must flee.
okay. I will not flee down the stairs though.
Where do you flee?
Uh, Down the road. I mean, I guess.
I mean, you're not out of the pit.
Oh, I'm not.
No, no, no. He was at the top of the pit.
Okay, then I guess I go down the stairs.
Okay.
Not down, not back into the catacombs though.
No, you just go down the stairs. Okay. You can see from where you are as you go down the steps. The crowd kind of bursts into cheers, and he wipes some sweat off his brow and seems to stand vigilant for a while. You get 100 feet, 150 feet down, and you presume that they can't see you anymore because you're in the pit and the moon. There's no moon in the sky, so you're not. They're above you, so they're better lit than you. They probably can't see you, but you can see them, and you're standing on the stairway in the pit.
I check my pulse.
You look for a pulse, and do you have a healing proficiency?
I do not.
Okay. Give me an intelligence check.
I feel like you've got to be quite an idiot to not find your own pulse.
Well, but I think that's one of the.
23.
I think that's a function of modern society where we know
Maybe.
enough about things that.
I guess so.
Yeah. You look for your pulse, and you do not find one.
I'm gonna hope that this is a curse, and if it is, it's pretty badass. But I will. Is there any sort of ledge I can find to rest on down the stairs,
Uh,
or is it just stairs? As far as like I've walked down 100 feet.
you walk down
Just
100 feet, and the
stairs.
stairs keep going. You're not sure how far down they do go.
I'll go down another 100 feet.
Okay. Yeah, you go down another 100 feet, and there are still chambers every so often on the side of the walls.
Is one of them? I'll stop it. And is any of them enough? Just like room to sit down and rest in?
Oh, there's plenty of room to sit down. The stairs are like 5 feet wide.
Okay.
Yeah,
Then
you
I'll-
can sit down.
okay. Then I'll sit down and rest.
Okay.
Use my old clothes to bind my wounds, and do I have? I do have a water skin with about half a gallon of water in it. So that yeah. I'll drink my water. I don't have food, but I'm gonna go ahead and rest up.
Okay. You do not
Try to
feel.
sleep.
Yeah, you don't feel the need to drink. Like you drink the water, but it's kind of forced out of habit. And you lean against the wall and try to like get cozy to sleep and close your eyes and sleep. I mean, you just woken up from a very long nap,
Yeah.
so you're not tired in the slightest. I mean, you slept for like a day and a half or 2 days.
Okay. Then if I'm not able to sleep, I'm gonna spend some time in prayer, praying for a healing spell.
Okay.
I know I just prayed, so I mean I don't know. So but I guess I'll just spend.
Yeah,
Some time.
you pray again. You get yourself a cure light wounds, cause light wounds.
Cause light wounds.
Yes.
Well, I'm not going to be foolish enough to use that on myself. I've got some holy water, so I want to splash just the tiniest drop on my pinky finger on my left hand.
It burns. It burns. It hurts.
I cork the water and put it away. Cause. Oh, shit. Do I feel hungry?
No.
Fuck it. I'm gonna sit here. I guess. Let me know if anything happens, but I guess I'll fast forward 11 days until I'm at full health.
You'll just sit in the pit for 11 days?
I mean, I don't know what else to do. Every morning I will pray to replace that cause light wounds with the cure light wounds.
Okay.
Does anyone disturb me?
After 4 days...
Let me know if I'm getting hungry or thirsty.
No, you're not getting hungry, you're not getting thirsty. You do gain HP. You're getting full bed rest, basically.
Yeah. But not with a competent healer.
Not with a competent healer.
But it doesn't matter, right? Is it 2 HP a day? Or 3
Yeah, it's 2
HP
HP a day.
Okay.
So after 3 days, that's 6 HP, you get a cure light wounds.
Okay.
So you're at 7.
Okay, 3. So I was at 1. Okay, 7. So, all right, I'll cast cure light wounds on myself.
Okay.
Going
D8?
for spell failure.
Oh yeah, spell failure it.
It's pass.
Okay.
So 10 lower
And
spell
cure
failure.
light wounds,
8.
you
Do I
take
die?
8 damage.
So I'm at -1.
You're at -1.
Okay.
I guess. Give me what are the rules for
I mean, it's not like
for
you
you?
on death, and there may be like saves. Do you have to roll?
Yeah, you get to make a. Let me look at the
I thought that
on
was
death
only if you were
stuff.
bleeding out.
Yeah, but how would you do with something like? Would you not consider yourself bleeding out at this point?
I have no idea. I mean,
Probably not.
I feel like cause like wounds is like a succinct amount of damage, and like the wound is cauterized.
Yeah. Okay. So you reawaken sometime later.
Okay. Why
Um,
don't we look up what the rules are
I'm
for
looking it up right now.
on death's doorstep? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a save versus death, but uh, for those, I mean, in D&D, typically cure does not harm undead, and cause light wounds does do damage to undead. If I'm Neal, chat was just
I'm
like,
not
you should have
sure.
known. You should have known. I mean, so this is house rule stuff that Neal was doing.
Yeah, if
That's Final Fantasy shit where you can cure on undead and cause damage. That's not in that's no there's nowhere explicitly stated in the Dungeons and Dragons rule books that cure light wounds.
I'm not seeing what is the
I think it's an optional rule on Death's Doorstep. Is it in
yeah,
DMG?
it might be in DMG because I didn't see it in Player's Handbook anymore. Um, Death 99 and 103. Injury and death. Injury and death. Injury and death. Character death. Death from poison. On death's doorstep. Hovering on death's door. You can find player characters are dying. If this happens, you may want to allow characters to survive for short periods of time, even if their hit points are etc. The character can remain alive until his hit points reach -10. However, as soon as the character reaches 0 hit points, he falls to the ground unconscious. Thereafter, he automatically loses 1 hit point each round. His survival from this point depends on the quick thinking of his companions. If they reach the character before his hit points reach -10 and spend at least 1 round tending to its wounds, stenching the blood flow, blah blah blah, the character does not die immediately. If the only action is to bind his wounds, the character no longer loses 1 hit point, but neither gains any if he remains unconscious, and blah blah blah. If a cure spell is used of some type and cast upon him, the character is immediately restored to 1 hit point, no more. Further cures you no more until he's had time to rest. Blah blah blah, blah blah blah. All right, but you have 19 con, and it was not a bleeding out sort of thing, so
But typically, if you are reduced to negative and nobody binds you, you just die.
you
Or
just
is
die.
there?
Yeah, it doesn't.
There was no like. I thought there was something we used to do like save versus death to stabilize yourself.
No, that's if you're at like -2 and you don't have a
Oh,
means of healing, like every day you have to
okay.
make a D10 roll, and if you roll above the absolute value of your HP, then you gain an HP. If you roll below it, you lose an HP. It's like if you're at -5, you roll a D10. If you roll 6 through 10, you gain HP. If you roll 1 through 5, you lose an HP. And that way you like slowly inch towards death or life.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, there's nowhere in there that says healing does damage to undead, but there's
Yeah.
nowhere saying that it actually heals undead.
I wasn't disputing that, but I was
Yeah.
informing chat that it's not like
Yeah.
I'm.
It's one of those
That's
unknowns.
this is like house rules
Yeah,
type
but
stuff.
it's also
Or maybe some random curse that I'm under. I mean, it's not like.
it's unusual. It's one of those things that you might not know as a cleric until you try it, or and if you had some sort of specialty training in that realm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So do I eventually wake up? Or
Yeah, you eventually wake up.
I'll ask for a cause light wounds, I guess.
It is granted.
Fuck it, YOLO. I'm gonna try casting it on myself. Not a failure. 3.
All right, you are at 4.
All right, I guess I'll kill another day.
Okay. Bring yourself
And
all the way up to 6. Another day of
Okay.
resting, and then cause light wounds again.
Yeah. I just killing. I'm not in need of food or water.
You are not in need of food or water. Although when the sun is out, it does bother you a lot.
I will try and hide underneath the
Yeah, I mean, you get
shade.
down pretty low in the pit. You're at this point, you're 500 feet down, and you're surprised that there's still staircases going down this far. It's weird as fuck.
Okay.
But that keeps you out of the sunlight for all but the worst part of the day.
All right. So I'm spending my time in prayer to pretty much all the gods.
Mm-hmm.
8.
8.
So I will be at full.
Okay.
I'm gonna wait another day and try and memorize a spell.
Okay. What spell would you like to memorize?
Command again.
All right. You get command.
And I will surface on after nightfall on that day.
Okay. I should say you're coming up during nightfall, but if you fight during the day, in direct sunlight, the direct sunlight, like outside, is painful enough to you that you get -2 to hit and AC. Indirect sunlight, like in the shade or inside of a building, but where it's still bright, is -1 to hit in AC. Nighttime, no penalties.
All right. So I will surface.
Okay.
Is there still a vigil at all, or no?
No, no. You've been down here for like a week now.
Is there anyone out within the town square?
You climb to the top, and as you peer over the ledge, you see that there's some people sitting over by a cafe having some tea.
I'll stay below the ledge and pull a silk shawl over my head and try and wait for them to be looking the other direction, and then scurry a little ways away and then casually start walking.
Okay. Not a problem. You proceed to walk, and they don't seem to notice you.
I'm going to try and find the church of whoever that priest was. I was a priest of whatever the god of the light is.
Yeah.
Stair.
Yes.
And so I'll wander around. I'm hoping there's a big steeple, or maybe
Yes,
maybe
you very quickly come across the Church of Astaire.
Okay.
Temple of Astaire.
Okay. Do I notice any guards or anything outside or around or anywhere?
No, it's a temple. It doesn't need guards. Everyone loves the church. Everyone protects it. You'd have to be an evil person to do anything wrong to it.
Is there an adjoining priest quarters, or is
there? Yeah, there's a priest house, a couple of them, or it looks like it would be big enough for more than one priest to live in.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna actually go in the front door of the church.
Okay. You put your hand on the door to push it open, and it burns. You take 1 point of damage.
Motherfucker. All right, I'm gonna go to the priest's quarters then.
Okay. You walk around on the pavement, on the outside, and you get to the priest's quarters.
Okay. Is there a separate door to this?
Yeah, the door, like you're still walking on the. Oh my god! I have a map. Why don't I use a map?
You have a map?
Well, I mean, I can make a map. I have map making abilities. So this is like the streets. There's some buildings. The church itself is here. It's kind of got like there's like some grass on the sides, and then it does this, and same thing over here. Comes back with grass on the sides, and then opens up like that. And there's like
so the main church so the front door was there.
Yeah, so the front door is here, and the
that's
priest. Yeah, the priest door is right here. There's no door on the other side. So to open that door, I just want to make the distinction. You'd have to step over onto the grounds of the church.
Did stepping onto the grounds hurt? I thought it was the doorknob.
It was the doorknob, but the door is like right flush with the street. Not quite flush, like you had to take a step onto the steps. I'm just letting you know in case you fear the consecrated grounds of the temple.
I stick my left hand across over the boundary.
It doesn't bother you.
I take a step onto the lawn.
Okay. You feel as if worms are crawling through your feet and into your legs. It's extraordinarily uncomfortable, but it does not cause you damage.
All right, I'm gonna go to the priest's door,
Okay.
and I will touch the doorknob with my pinky on my left hand. Does it feel
Um,
hot?
yeah, it burns, and there's a little bit of smoke that rises from your pinky. No damage, though.
Were there windows on the outside?
Yeah, there's tall windows, stained glass throughout the church.
On like the priest quarters?
Yeah, all around it. You're gritting your teeth against this extraordinarily uncomfortable feeling.
I step
3
back
feet.
straight.
Okay. You feel instantly better.
I look in through the windows in the priest's quarters.
You're too short. You're a dwarf.
How high are the windows?
Like 6 feet off the ground. They're like stained glass windows up high.
Okay.
You could reach the door if you leaned over the grounds. You could hit the door with your hand, probably. You think? Just as information for you.
All right, I'm going to step onto the grounds for a second. I've got my hammer in my hands, and I'm going to knock on the door with my hammer.
Okay.
And then step back off the grounds. So I'll be like standing in the street right there.
You said you have some silks over your head, like a shroud.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. You rap on the door for a moment and move off the grounds.
And I will. Okay.
What
Yeah,
were we
I'll
saying?
see who I am. Nothing. I'm not going to do anything. I'll be standing right there,
You wait a moment,
preparing to cast a spell.
and eventually a blurry-eyed priest comes to the door.
Does it look like the same priest?
Yes, it looks like the same priest. And he
I'm
opens
gonna
the door.
cast command him.
What do you command?
I need to roll for spell failure first. Okay, we're fine. I say follow, and I gesture and step back to the middle of the street. If he has int of 14 or higher, he gets a save or spell.
Okay.
No.
He proceeds to follow you.
Okay, so it only lasts a round. So
Right.
I lead him into the
But
center of the
as
street.
he follows you, he says, "What treachery is this? Who are you? I can't. What am I doing?"
Don't you recognize me? So does he? As soon as he steps off the ground, so I'm going to lead him into the center of the street for a minute.
Okay. You lead him into the center of the street.
And then I'm going to circle between him and the temple. Does he have his holy symbol around his neck?
Yes.
Okay. And then I am going to make an attack at him.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give you an attack at the end of the round. Why not? Go for it.
I should get an attack. Oh, depending if I.
I mean, because you cast a spell and then you moved, and
Well, I mean,
it's questionable, but it's fine.
So that was the first round, and then the second round, like this, is the spell round.
Yeah, I was
I'll
going to
have
say that you
and-
get a half move and then you make an attack. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
6.
All right. You swing at him and he ducks below your maul as it swings past him. And now we roll initiative.
11.
Okay.
Tried to position myself so that if he tries to run back to the temple,
You guys are tied. Go as he does his thing.
12 to hit.
12 to hit hits him. He tries to turn you, but fails.
4 damage. I think interruption may have some effect on that.
But you guys went at the same time, so.
So he's okay.
Yeah.
Don't you recognize me? Second attack.
Okay, you hit him for 4. He stumbles with the blow, and you get your second attack.
I miss.
Okay. Initiative. Yeah.
11 again.
Okay. I gotta look up fucking pre-spells. Hold on.
What would he really have memorized in the middle of the night?
Probably nothing, to be honest.
Maybe like bless and call upon faith.
Can't use bless though. Battle's
like
already
that.
started.
Just giving you ideas for spells you may reasonably have memorized.
Fuck it. He turns and runs. Attack of opportunity at +2 for back attack.
Is he trying to run to his apartment? Or
No,
to
he tries to run like out here.
+2 for back attack?
Yeah.
19.
19. Can you get another +1 in there? Because that's not a critical since you... But you get another +1. That is a crit.
I don't think so. It's dark. Does that? He gets a penalty.
There you go. He gets a penalty to
Okay.
AC because it's Starlight. He gets a -2 to hit in the armor class, so that's actually 21. Or I mean, it's his AC is 8. But
12 damage.
he clatters to the ground.
Okay. I roll him over.
Okay. He's
Um,
unconscious. He's clearly got broken ribs, and he is barely wheezing as blood trickles from his face and his chest.
using I take the shawl from my head and take the holy symbol from his neck with it.
Okay. The holy symbol hurts at the touch, but does not. Like I mean, you know,
I mean, I've
it
got
burns through
a
the cloth that you're holding it
Yeah,
with.
and I throw it in my bag for now.
Okay.
What about I've got holy symbols around my neck.
But those are just
I've
your
got the
holy
one.
symbols.
I've got
Yeah.
Barachi. I think no, the other ones are in my bag. Okay.
Right.
I steal this holy symbol. Well, I take what is rightfully mine. I won it fair and square in my eyes. Does he look like he's going to bleed out?
Yes.
Okay. I stand up and step on his chest as I walk away.
Okay.
God damn! I thought that would be my victory. I'm going to return to the pit.
Okay. You walk back to the pit. It is dark.
Scratching my chin.
There are people still at the cafe eating baguettes and sipping on cocoa, perhaps, or some sort of liqueur.
Grumble, grumble, grumble. Okay, so I go back to the pit, go back to the staircase. I glare at the people eating their baguettes.
Okay. They don't seem to notice you. They're in the middle of their conversation. And they've got some lantern light that helps them see.
Okay. And I'm going to crawl back to the skeleton's chamber.
Okay, you go back to the chamber where you were found, or that you found the skeleton before. The pot of money is still there.
I took the money, though.
Ah, okay, the pot is still there. There's no money in it.
And I wish to search the chamber again.
Okay. You look about and it still seems pretty normal. You don't see anything else in here.
Shit. I wish I'll using the silk again, try and drop the priest holy symbol in the little pot.
Okay, it clatters in the pot.
Well, looking around the chamber. Where is this champion that I must defeat? I am the victor. And I sort of stand up and shout at the walls. I am the victor! Brandishing my maul. Circle around the room. No response.
No response.
Or I kick the pot across the room.
Clatters and the holy symbol falls out onto the ground.
I put it back in my bag.
The holy symbol?
Yeah, picking it up with the cloth again. I sit down and lean against my maul.
All right.
And think. I don't know. I'm going to fast forward or whatever. Rest up.
Okay, a day passes.
Inspect my burned hand.
The burn heals over time. At this point, I think we should award some experience because you've been doing a lot of resting and some crazy shit happened to you. And you killed some rats.
Tell me about it. Sure. So, yeah, I killed some rats, and I think I probably maybe defeated that skeleton.
Yes, you defeated the skeleton.
Technically, although it was ill-advised. Not the cleanest way to do it.
Let me bring out my handy-dandy
So,
experience generator program.
Experience for rats, 15 for a skeleton, maybe 35. So I gained 100 experience.
Well, the rats are worth 15 each, and there's 7 of them. The skeleton was a little bit better than a normal skeleton. Then you killed a priest.
Yeah.
Just dull amount of experience.
Some interesting role-playing and...
Some interesting role-playing.
Acquired a curse.
And the curse is probably worth a lot of experience to your character.
Even if I don't solve it.
I mean, it's experience. It happened to you. You should get experience points for being cursed. I think.
Sure.
Yeah.
That sounds reasonable. I feel like more. So
including role playing and curse and all the people that you've defeated and selling your stuff and blah 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 blah, I'm going to give you 955.
Why do you give me these? Okay, I guess now they'll add up to an even number. So 955.
You get shitty numbers because I end up like, well, this is worth this much and this is this much.
Yeah,
and
no, I mean they aren't even. I've got to divide these by 2. So 477.5.
Here, I can do 956 if that's better for you.
No. You gave me half last time, so this is okay. So I have 790 for each. This is the disadvantage to multiclassing. If I were a priest, I would have just hit level 2.
Yep.
Okay. All right. I guess I was in combat, so I don't heal that 1 HP though, right?
I mean, you haven't slept in over a week. Time ceases to have meaning for you. You can sit down here for days, and it would seem like hours. Trust me, I just did not sleep for 3.5 days, and time lost all meaning near the end. Like I took a 20-minute break at one point because my ISP went down, and it felt like an hour and a half, and it felt like 5 minutes at the same time. Like
crazy.
Yeah, you can pass enormous amounts of time when you don't realize it.
Okay. Well then. So do I gain that HP? And I'll pray for a new spell.
Yeah, you gain the HP, you get yourself a new spell.
Cause fear.
Okay. You have gained cause fear.
Back to 12 HP. And now what? God, I guess I'll wait for nightfall and go and haunt this city again.
Okay. Nightfall comes.
I will resurface.
You get back to the top.
I'm going to wander around and see if I can find a library. I'm probably less careful about making sure I'm not spotted.
Okay. You walk out of the pit. Okay. No one spots you as you do. Are you still carrying the shawl over you?
Yeah, I mean, I wear it over my head. Like
okay.
A cloak or whatever. Does my face feel like it's rotting off or anything?
No, it feels fairly intact.
Okay. I'm going to go find see if I can find a library.
Okay. There is a library in town, and you arrive at the library.
Is it open at this hour? It's probably just after nightfall.
No, the library is totally closed.
Is it locked?
You pull. I mean, the only way to tell if it's locked is to pull on the door. You give it a nice tug, and it feels closed.
I'm gonna circle around. Is there a back door or anything?
There is. There's 2 other doors into the building. Both of them are locked, indeed. Bless you.
All right, I'm gonna go try and find a. Oh, sorry. Go to one of the back doors, and I will attempt to bash it open.
Okay. You give me an open doors check.
Not going to happen that first round. My open doors check is 6.
Right. You slam yourself into the door to no avail. I mean, no one comes in the first minute of you trying to open it.
Yeah. 2 minutes, not opening. I'm going to go to the other door on the back side of the building.
Oh, this was the front door?
No. You said there were 2 doors in the back,
okay.
right?
Yeah. You go to the other one.
The other back door, just in case anyone heard anything or shows up. Oops. Third minute, not gonna happen.
At this point, the other door that you were banging on opens, and a man dressed in robes
I run over
and a
to him
shaved head steps out.
Hail! And I wave and I run over to him.
What is it with all that racket? We are closed at this hour.
I have need of your services.
Then come back in the morning. We are closed.
I said that will not do.
By the gods. What do you need?
I need to do some research. What does he doesn't look like he's not a priest of any kind, right?
No, he looks like a librarian. Well, the librarians of this world are priests of, I want to say, Stereth, the god of wisdom and knowledge, or knowledge.
So he does have a holy symbol.
He would not. No, he doesn't carry a holy symbol on him. It's this weird monk priest hybrid class that. Yeah.
Okay, I say I need to do some research, and daytime will not do.
Why will the daytime not do? We need
Shift.
sleep.
I look shiftily from side to side. I say, "Oh, you can sleep later. Is there anyone else about?" I mean, I guess it doesn't make a huge difference. But in a hushed voice, I say, I have,
There's,
I have been cursed." Say it, and I must research the cure. It is urgent.
what sort of curse has befallen you, sir?
The daylight burns.
He slowly reaches for your veil.
The gods of what his it's a neutral god, right?
Yeah, Stareth.
And
Knowledge,
obviously
wisdom.
priests are individual, but I don't expect him to necessarily take sides on something like this. I mean, he's more of a
I mean, a neutral god still would recoil at the sight of evil.
I remove my hood.
Okay. He looks at you and reaches a hand to your face and feels it.
Mm-hmm.
And says, "You seem coherent."
I say yes. I am not crazy.
You do not seem to be evil or out for blood.
I am of sound mind.
Well, come in then. He ushers you in.
I say thank you. May Sereth bless you. And does he follow me, or does he just let me?
He leads you in. He's got a lantern in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
He takes you back towards into the library, and he says,
Mm-hmm.
I take it you can read, of course, sir."
Yes, yes.
The stacks that you're looking for are against the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And then he turns and walks away.
Fuck yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna go look through the stacks, see if I can find any books on curses.
Okay. You're busying yourself. You find a whole bunch of books that are interesting to you, and you bring them back to the table,
Mm-hmm.
and you start flipping through them. And 20 minutes into flipping through the books, the priest or the monk returns with an older gentleman. This guy looks like he's 80, 85 years old. He's ancient. He's got stringy hair that comes out in clumps or not at all in places. Partially balding. He's got spots all over his face. His hands are shaky as he walks and have large, old man spots on him. His nose is crooked and bent like it's been broken many times in his life. And his eyes are, while the skin around them look tired and ancient, they dart around like the eyes of a young man. He hobbles up to you, leaning on the other monk for support, and says, "Who are you that has come to my library?"
My name is Balrog Blacksteel. I am afflicted with a terrible curse, and your apprentice here was gracious enough to let me in after hours to research it.
"So he says. What curse have you been afflicted with?"
I do not know. That is why I'm reading.
"Speak to me, young man. What has happened to you?"
A spirit lured me into the pit.
There are grave dangers in the pit.
Indeed. I cannot even begin to comprehend what happened to me down there, but I now burn in the sunlight. I fear that I am no longer living.
He closes his eyes as if he's falling asleep, and you hear him mumbling some things. And he starts moving his hand around, and clutches his hand to his chest, and like as if he's grabbing something underneath his robe. And a white light emanates from him from just a moment and kind of disperses in a wave. It's very pale and kind of misty. And as it washes over you, you feel your skin boil for just an instant. And he goes, "Yes, I see you have left the land of the living. Your soul is with Falumbra now, and yet you remain."
How do I get my soul back?
"How were you cursed? Find a way to break the curse, and you shall return to the land of the living, I presume."
Well, yes, that's. uh, Thank you, wise sir. um, so you have not heard of anything like this before?
There are many curses in this world, each with their own unique ways of happening and breaking. What curse has befallen you is for you to figure out and destroy. The library here takes no sides in these plights. We seek to provide wisdom and guidance for all mankind.
Thank you, kind sir. Do you accept donations for the curating of this library?
We do.
Okay. I will hand him 10 gold from my not sketchy bag.
Okay. The acolyte with him takes the money.
Okay. I thank you for your discretion. This is quite a shameful affliction, as you can imagine.
Well, may the gods guide your path, sir. And beware what evils you bring. And he turns and starts hobbling out with the help of the acolyte.
Okay. Useless old man. All right, I return to my books.
All right, you get back to your books. You start reading through about curses and what sort of books are you looking for? You got a stack of them, but what
Yeah,
type
if
of
there was
things?
anything specifically on the pit, that would be great.
Oh yeah, there's like 3 tomes on the pit.
Okay, and I also probably would have grabbed a few books on curses and if there was anything that seemed relevant to that, and maybe even afterlife shenanigans, religious tomes.
All right, well you start with the
So I start off with the pit and see.
You
if
start
there's
off with the pit.
anything.
All right. 2 of the books are histories, or one of the books is musing some theories on the pit and its origins, how it pertains to the gods and mankind, by Ernest Ballway.
Okay.
The other 2 books are one of the books is a history of the families entombed therein, and the other is it's a smaller book. It's about a crew who went to figure out what's at the bottom of the pit, and it's their musings and writings.
They're all interesting. I'll start with the one with the families entombed and see if I can figure out which tomb that was in. I don't recall seeing names.
It's a fat fucking book, and it's like, and on this layer we have this family, and
Sounds like it was one of the first layers from the top.
Yeah.
Correct. So I'll try and make sense of the organization of the book and see if I can, figure out whose tomb that was.
All right, you start reading through it, and some of the names are clicking with you. You come across a passage that talks about the unknown men standing behind, guarded by the undying soldier, which kind of clicks with you, like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Shit. Okay, I'm gonna read about. I want to see if I can figure out what that statue is about. That's got to be the champion that I'm supposed to kill. I don't know why that didn't click until just now.
And continuing on, they talk about the pit, but there's no entry whatsoever for the section where you found the gold.
It's supposed to be an empty tomb.
No, it's not supposed to exist. It's either new construction since the book was written, or it was left out of the book intentionally, but it is not marked in there.
What about that undying soldier? Is there any mention of what is supposed to be in his left hand?
No, there's no mention of it. It just mentions the unknown behind the undying soldier.
All right, I'll keep in mind if I can find anything about the undying soldier and the unknown men in any other books that I read through.
Okay.
But I'll go into the other books about the pit.
All right. Which other books do you want to read?
I'll probably spend up to 6 hours doing research, FYI, and try and tidy up and get back down to the pit by nightfall or by daybreak.
Okay. Which other books do you want to read through?
So I'll start the other books of the pit and see if I can find any reference to the undying soldier.
Okay. There is the book about the crew that tried to plumb the depths of the pit. They went down the staircase. Apparently, the staircase was there when people got here. The pit and the staircase have been there for all time.
Out of curiosity, I skipped to the end first and see what they found at the bottom. Or whether
one day they went down and didn't come back up.
Okay.
It's just the crew did not report the next day, and I had to climb out the 100,000 steps by myself.
Crazy. Okay. So, anyways, then I'll go back and search for a reference to the undying soldier. That probably would have been near the beginning.
Okay. There's nothing in that book regarding the undying soldier. It's just kind of
So there's what.
There's a third book about the musings of the purpose of the pit and how it relates to gods and men.
Okay. Anything about undying soldier in there or anything?
No, it's just all religious conjecture and theory about how the pit is supposed to, represent the horrors of mankind. Or
Okay.
it's just it's written by 4 different authors, and they all have their own take on what the pit is. But they're supposed to be enlightened scholars of their day who spent decades studying the pit.
Okay. So I will go ahead and read some of the books on curses.
Okay. Appears that curses are fairly powerful. Curses that can affect people for long periods of time in significant ways are extraordinarily rare and difficult. The only beings of great power, great wizards, great priests, great monsters, great beasts can inflict such curses.
Remove such curses, for that matter.
Or remove such curses. It also says that all curses have by nature, a curse has a cure. And any curse has a remedy. Even if it's difficult, even if it's near impossible, a curse has a cure. So they give examples, things like if you were cursed by this type of person, you may have to slay the person. Usually killing the person who created the curse on you will defeat the curse, in addition to other terms and agreements. However, in some situations... Ooh, that's loud. In some situations, that sort of thing is not killing the creator of the curse will not do it in and of itself. A curse may be broken by, perhaps breaking the crystal ball through which the curse was cast, and the crystal ball could be buried in the ground and lost for all time. But if that ball is found and broken, then the curse is broken too. So just because a curse is breakable doesn't necessarily mean that it's easy or even feasibly possible to do so. Just theoretically possible to do so.
All right. Well, I'll go reading. I'll skip through some of the other books I had, some of the books on religion, and yada, yada, yada. So I'll spend the next few hours doing that. Let me know if I find anything interesting or if you just want to count it as...
No, between reading through these books, the sun is starting to come up.
Yeah.
It's not up yet.
So
but
I
you
will
can see
put the books back where I found them. I will leave another 5 GP on the table, and I will head back to the pit.
Okay. You crawl back to the pit, and as you do so, some people point and gasp at you as you crawl down into the pit. You have been spotted walking down in there.
I'm a pit fiend.
And on that note, it's been another hour. Let's take one of our infamous 3 to 5 minute breaks. So we'll see you guys soon.